Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Arati coming on today with another stimulus update. Today is October the 18th. We're going to be giving you EIDL updates regarding the EIDL loans and grants. Some interesting new news regarding the PUA, that's the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. We're also going to be talking about the Paycheck Protection Program, the forgiveness process, what to do if you are denied either in full or in part in your forgiveness application. So that's going to be important for you as well. Also, we're going to be talking about grants and answering your questions, because I know many of you all contact me on a daily basis, and you have questions trying to overcome challenges so you can get approved for these programs. So do drop your questions in the comments, and I will try to get to as many while we are live on this broadcast. If you're coming in, if you're new, welcome on in to everyone. Do make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you are following us on every platform that we are. We have some great things going on and coming up. You definitely want to make sure you stay in the know. All of our explainer videos are on playlists on our YouTube channel. So you want to make sure that you go there, because I know a lot of you all can't necessarily afford or have time to get on a one-on-one call. So we have those step-by-step explainer videos for you on our playlist. We put those out on a regular basis. Do make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, hit that like button, that love button, tag someone that you know that you think needs to hear and know this information. Also, do share out this video to those that you know as well. We know there are millions of small business owners, and many are still going through challenges, still trying to pivot their business, still trying to grow their businesses. So we are here to support you all in achieving whatever goal you have set out for yourself and your business. We want to make sure that you are taking the right actions that you need to take to move your businesses forward. So we have a lot to get to today. So I'm just going to get started really quickly just by talking first about the pandemic unemployment. This is really important for those, if you're a gig worker, shout out to the gig workers, 1099 independent contractors, also small business owners. This program through unemployment had federal dollars that was designated to be able to give unemployment benefits to those that would not normally have qualified for traditional unemployment. That included also that additional $300 a week benefit. And we know that this program ended in September. For many states, actually, it ended in July, because we know about 26 states that are Republican led, they closed out the programs early. But what you need to know is that even though the program closed early, you still have time to file on any unpaid claims that you are entitled to. You have until October the 27th. Okay, October the 27th to do that. So if there are any unclaimed or unpaid claims that you need to file, you can do that online. You need to make sure you get that done by the 27th. Also, the director of the Department of Labor indicated that we know that many of you all have had challenges as well. So those that are in the appeal process or having issues with your claims or any adjudication issues, they are working to fix those issues, okay, before it's all said and done. So like I always say, don't give up on the process, right? I know some of you all still haven't gotten your unemployment money. It's been delayed, but once that goes through, you get your back pay. That's what happened to us, last year, when our state and the state of Ohio actually needed to set up a brand new system before we could get our benefits. So in the meantime, I filed my claims to make sure that once they did have it up and running, that it was ready. And so once they did, I was able to get my back pay and then my regular pay until, I no longer required to file claims. So I stopped filing claims sometime maybe around August or September of 2020. So again, that is important information for you if you filed unemployment claims on PUA. Just a reminder as well for overpayments on unemployment. Make sure that you are checking your email for correspondence from your state regarding any overpayments, because you're responsible for that payment. However, what you should know is that many of the states were given the ability to waive any overpayments that were made at no fault of your own. So we here in Ohio have that. They sent us out the applications to have our overpayments waived. I believe it was June or July. So I recently checked my portal. I see that the balance is still there. Look, I'm waiting for it to say zero. Okay, because I put my application in, but they said maybe around about September, but it's still there. I haven't heard any more word on it. So I may just call, like I tell you all to do, just to check up on that to make sure nobody dropped the ball. Because we do know people do drop the ball, and it's on us to continue to check up on a regular basis to make sure that our, whatever we have going on does not fall through the cracks. So that again are for the overpayments. You can possibly get a waiver in your state. Please check with your state because every state is different in how they process those programs. So it's best to contact that state department for that. Now, the last day for claimants to clear any overpayments is March 31st of 2022. So that's of next year. So we're almost at the end of 2021. As of September, $800 million was paid out, $800 million was paid out in PUA claims. And so that's good to know as well. So one thing that I want to know is for you gig workers out there, because I've been getting some contacts from gig workers lately. Well, how are you faring since the close of the unemployment? Are you back up and running? Are you back to what you were doing, whether it's Uber, Lyft, or Instacart, or did you find something else? Or are you working that as your side hustle and another side hustle? Because the thing is that it's a great time for entrepreneurs. There's so many things that you can do entrepreneur wise to really build wealth. And so I want to make sure that you all are taking every opportunity to be able to do that, even though, you lost your unemployment benefits. So that's a pandemic unemployment compensation or assistance benefits. Now I want to move on to EIDL because I get a lot of questions regarding the EIDL grants and EIDL loan applications. So I thought it was important just to go through some of the FAQs. So the SBA has updated their FAQs. They've been updating it regularly. So I took the opportunity to go through the entire document because I noticed that there was some discrepancies in what's in the FAQs compared to what some of my peers are telling me, or that the SBA may be telling you with regards to your application. So I just want to walk through that really quickly. This is a point where you may have questions. So again, just put them in the comments. For sole proprietors, this is really for you as well with regards to the form ODA P022. That is the standard resolution form that you have been asked to upload for your EIDL loans, and for some of you, your EIDL grants. And so people were asking me, okay, my loan application or my increase is less than 500,000. Why do I have to fill out this form? Now, on the SBA's website, on their FAQs, it says that this form is required for all businesses except sole proprietors. However, I've been contacted by many sole proprietors who say that they were required to submit that form and upload that form to their portal. So if you're a sole proprietor, can you please let me know in the comments if you were asked to or required to submit that ODA form P022 standard resolution form? Now, if you are sole proprietor and you were asked, I would call the SBA. I would call them and say, according to your FAQs, it says that I am not required to upload this file because I am a sole proprietor. Okay. And then see what they say. Okay. Because either that's incorrect or they need to change their FAQs. So we don't want you to have to do any other additional work or unnecessary work that can further delay your application process if it's a document that's not needed. Now, what I've heard is that for sole proprietors, they do not need to fill out Section 5, but the FAQs say you don't have to fill out the form at all because you're a sole proprietor. And I know many sole proprietors have been confused, like, I'm a sole proprietor, why do I have to fill this out? However, sole proprietor does not mean you're not a business. So I would just again call the SBA, make them aware that they FAQ say something different than what you may be asked to provide. See if they can correct that situation so you can move forward in the process. Another thing that I want to talk about is more than one business, because I get a lot of questions regarding, submission of multiple applications. So I've explained before, a lot of you all have gotten stuck and delayed for a long period of time because you submitted multiple applications for one business. That throws up a fraud alert, and your application will be delayed until you can fix that duplication. Okay. It will show up as a duplicate application. You will need to withdraw one of those applications to move forward with the next. Okay, that's important. So how to know if you need to apply for more than one business? So if you are a sole proprietor and you have multiple gigs, multiple businesses, you only submit one application. You and your business are one. If you have you have 5 contracts, right, with different clients, that is one business. That is not 2, 3, or 4 or 5 different businesses. If you have a business and you have multiple locations, but when you file your taxes, they all are in one, right? You file one tax return, then you submit one application. The only time that you would submit 2 applications for different businesses is if your businesses have separate EIN numbers, right? So they're separate businesses, and you file a separate Schedule C or other tax form depending on how you file your taxes or what your tax structure is. That is the only way that you can file on behalf of multiple businesses. So you file one business like we did, because we have a totally separate business, and we follow that application through that process. Then we have our other business, and that's separate everything, separate bank accounts, separate EIN, separate Schedule C's, and we follow that process through. If that is not your situation, you do not need to submit multiple applications. You just need to submit one and follow that one through the process. So many of you all are stuck because you have a duplicate application, you don't even know it. So please, if you because you are hesitant, right, you got impatient with the process and you started submitting all these other applications, call and see if that is the case. Go back, make sure that they maintain your original application, or if you already have that loan application and you have a grant under that, then they need to just withdraw the other one so you can move forward with that process. So I encourage you all to do that as well. Now, I also get questions regarding what line to use for your gross sales, gross receipts, gross revenue. It's all the same. Okay. That is what you brought into your business as far as income from sales of products and services before expenses, right? And taxes. That is your gross sales. And it depends on what your tax filing forms you're using. But for the majority of us, we use Schedule C, then you will use line 1 on your Schedule C form. What is messing a lot of people up, or entrepreneurs, especially those that are gig workers, independent contractors, and 1099s, is that you may not have had your taxes done properly. So when I was, doing taxes, preparing taxes, I found this a lot of times. People would come to me, want me to fix their tax returns because the person who did them didn't file them correctly, didn't put the income in the right place. Your employment income and your 1099 income or contractor income, so proprietor income, are 2 different things, and they have 2 different places on your tax return. So it's so important to make sure you're working with the right financial experts to help you. If you're working with someone that doesn't know what they're doing, they're just going to make your situation worse. It's going to cause you even more delays, and you may be delayed to the point where you won't qualify before the program ends. So this is to help you get unstuck and get approved, get your application moving, so before the deadline you can be approved and funded. Okay, so I get another question about, okay, when will my loan be funded? So if you have been approved, you applied for your loan or your increase, you should expect 5 to 10 business days once you've been approved if your loan is under 500,000. Now, if your loan is above 500,000, there is a lot more required in the underwriting process, additional documents you may need to have provide and have verified. So that may extend the time for you to be able to get your funds actually deposited in your account. But what they're saying, the SBA, is that between 5 and 10 business days. So you're going through the process. If you apply for the loan, you've gotten approval, let me know, how long did it take you to get through the process to get your funds deposited? Okay. Also, now, if you are in like the reconsideration process, if they're sending you emails, they're now adding timelines to the email. So like even reconsideration, it may say between 30 and 60 days for it to be processed. And again, that's if you is with everything you submitted on your part complete and accurate. Anything that you do on your end that's not complete and accurate is going to further delay the process. Okay, so we want to avoid that. Now, credit scores. So we know that not everyone qualifies, and one of the reasons for denials, one of the top reasons actually, is credit worthiness, or sometimes your credit score. It may or may not be your score. It may be something in your credit history, or it could be your score. This is just a reminder of what the requirements are for your credit in order to get approved for an EIDL loan. Okay, you need to have a 570 credit score if the loan amount is under 500,000. If the loan amount is above 500,000, then you need a minimum of 625 credit score. So we know that many people, even people contacting me over the weekend, have a credit issue. We know that this is a major issue, always has been an issue even prior to COVID, with business owners being able to access capital due to the credit requirements. Okay, and the SBA is on the lower end compared to some of the traditional funding options that are out there. But it's important that you know that, because once you know that, you can assess where you are. You baseline your credit score, right, where you are, and then what do you need to do to improve it? Are you in a place where you can quickly improve it? Maybe a lot of business owners took a hit during COVID. They had an excellent credit score, then it took a big hit, right? So see where you are, baseline it. Is it a matter of 10 points, 20 points that with the right strategies you can bump it up really quickly? Or is it a major effort on your part that needs to happen? Either way, if you need referrals for tax help or credit help, please let me know. You can just send me an email at hello@shebosstalk.com. I have several experts in my network that can assist you with that. That is so important as entrepreneurs and business owners, that we work on building our personal credit, because that affects your opportunities in your business, and it will limit you and what types of opportunities you have access to. So again, those are the credit score requirements for the EIDL loan. And so if you're denied on credit score, then you fix it, right? You get it back up to the required, then you can submit the reconsideration to have the SBA review it, reconsider that you're now meet the eligibility, and see if you can get approved. Okay. Now, this is a big one. Okay, this is a big one. I've gotten a lot of questions regarding this as well. Changes in your business structure or business organization after you file your 2019 tax returns, right? So many of you all, including me, including my new business, when I submitted my application, I was one of the first ones to submit an EIDL loan application in 2020. But after that, I actually had my business registered, right? Properly registered, went and set up a bank account, everything within 6 months. Okay, and this was during COVID. So this has happened to many of you all. So since the time that you submitted your first application, or since the time that you filed your 2019 taxes, that same business, you have now organized the business and legally structured the business, so you're not any longer operating as a sole proprietor under your Social Security number. This is what you're going to do. You have to use the same tax ID information that you use when you in your 2019 taxes and when you originally submitted your application. So you're not going to submit the new information under your new tax ID. Again, that will cause major delays in your application. And I've said this before because it gets confusing, right? So stick with what you initially submitted to the SBA as a sole proprietor. Do not switch it up, because it's going to cause you problems and challenges, because the SBA is not going to recognize it. They're going to try to do that match with the IRS using your 4506T. It's going to come back incorrect. It's going to get rejected, and you may possibly get denied because of that. And that's something, if you get denied, then you can correct it and do that, provide an explanation. Provide that explanation that it's a new business, but this is, this is what you applied under. This is what your taxes were. So you go back to your Social Security number and your sole proprietorship information. Okay, that's very important. The information, the income, and your address, whatever that is in your 2019 taxes, that is what they're using to verify whether your application in the review process, both your loan and your grant information. So, I think that's new for a lot of people, and they weren't really clear on that. So hopefully that helps you in that regard. Just wanted to give a reminder. I did a specific video on this, idle overpayments. This is especially for those gig workers, 1099, independent contractors, sole proprietors, where in 2020, the rules were different than what they are now regarding the idle grant program. And when the program was initiated in 2020, you could only get $1,000 per employee. Now, what happened is many of you all out there put that you had more employees than you actually did. You actually don't have any employees. If you put anything more than one for yourself, and you are a self-employed person, then that was incorrect information. And often it was falsified information so people could get the $10,000. There were people that said that self-employed individuals with no EIN number said they had 500 employees. It made no sense. Where the OIG is saying that there were things that the SBA could have done to catch that, some controls, some triggers in the system that would have caught that and alerted the system for the fact that you put down a certain number of W-2 employees, but you didn't have an EIN number, which is required for if you have W-2 employees. Another thing is that some of you all, when you hear the word employee, you're thinking, okay, I have 1099 contractors. 1099 contractors are not employees. So if you counted your 1099 contractors, that was incorrect. So what they're saying is they're working on formulating a plan to recover that money. So I went through the details of what you can anticipate they may do if that were you. So again, anytime you get money, you need to have some on reserve because it could come back, right? And so that's $4.5 billion that of overpayments that at some point, for those of you all that are in that category that did that, they're going to come back and ask you for proof to verify you had those employees. If you cannot provide proof, then you will need, they will tell you what you need to do. Either they're going to request that you pay it back, or they're going to set up an offset program where you won't get refunds. It will be in the federal system that you owe money, and then any types of monies that you're owed, like in the form of a tax refund, it will be that amount that you owe will be offset, meaning it will be subtracted by your refund amount. People find that out all the time when it comes tax season and they owe government debts, and the refund they thought they were going to get, they don't get it because it was offset. Okay, so that's what it is. So as we learn more about what the plan is for those overpayments, we will definitely let you know and keep you updated. Want to go over some top reasons for declines, because we know a lot of you are getting declined. I already talked about the credit score and also credit worthiness. There may be something in your credit history and not necessarily your score, like a bankruptcy or foreclosure or something else, and they will tell you. They will tell you exactly what it is. So it's not always your credit score of why you're denied. You need to know why you're denied so you can know what actions to take in an appeal. And if it's something that you can correct, if was it their error, is it something you need to correct, and submit the documentation to be able to get that your loan or grant or whatever the program is approved. Now, credit, and then also unverifiable information. So I said that the SBA actually updated their FAQs to include what is considered unverifiable information. So there's something with your identity or your business that is not adding up, is not matching. They can't verify it. Okay. And so you need to figure out what that is. And so they have a list in the FAQs of some possibilities of what that can be. Go through your file, right? So it could be that you didn't submit the proper ID to verify that you are a U.S. citizen, which is required in order to be eligible for this program. They may not have been able to verify your business again, because like I said, if it's a new business and there's no history on it, you don't have documentation to support, you need to be able to provide that documentation, submit that, clearly communicate what the situation is, what the reason for the lack of clarification, get that addressed, and then have supporting documentation when you submit that appeal process. Also, you may have already reached that 2 million limit. That is the limit that you can get. The cap was recently raised to 2 million. That's it. You cannot get more than that unless you have like multiple affiliates, your corporate body. The max is 10 million, right? But the max is $2 million. That is the limit. You can't get any more than that. And that's if you are eligible based on the calculations that they use, which includes your 2019 revenues. Also, your legal status. So this is another big one. You need to have proper U.S. legal status in order to apply and qualify for this program. Have a green card. So they have those requirements outlined in their FAQs. You need to make sure that you meet that requirement. Now, some of you all, when you apply, they have a checkbox that says, okay, are you a U.S. citizen? And some of you all said no. You checked no. You're moving too fast. You're a U.S. citizen, but you check no. All they go by is what you put in your application. And so many of you all put inaccurate information, which again is going to delay the process. So now they think you're not a U.S. citizen. So now guess what? Now you have to submit verification that you are a U.S. citizen. Either, your ID, birth certificate, passport, to be able to show that you are a U.S. citizen. What you put down on your application matters. And that will impact the processing of your application. Okay. Business lack of business activity or eligible businesses that can apply. In the FAQs, the SBA has outlined businesses that are ineligible for this program. So there are types of businesses that don't qualify. Like for an example, gambling businesses are not eligible. If you are in the adult industry, and that's your business, that business is ineligible. So it doesn't matter what you do. If your business was never eligible, you will not get approved. If your business did not start on or before January 31st, 2020, and you submitted an application, there is no way to get approved, because that is one of the number one eligibility requirements, is that you had to have been in business as of January 31st of 2020. If you started in February, you would not qualify for this program. Okay. And in the lack of responsiveness to the SBA. And I've said this before. When the SBA requests information from you, is your responsibility to follow up and provide the information they request in a timely manner. And that time limit is 7 days. And I've said how people have missed a grant. When I applied for my grant and I received a call from the SBA, they left a voicemail message and they followed up by email. In the email, the representative told me, it outlined that I had 7 days. If I did not respond in 7 days, then I would be denied. I wasn't getting my money. Okay. So I've said this before. Many business owners are not responsive to their emails. You need to be checking your inbox, your spam folders, your promo folders. I can't tell you how many messages, legitimate messages, I get every day that go to my spam folder and promotional folder. If I don't check them every day, there's something important that I'm missing. Okay. And I know there's things important you're missing. You could have an SBA grant invite in your spam folder right now, something, or in your inbox right now that you missed, and you could possibly miss out on $15,000 because you just have not checked your email on a regular basis. So the time limit is the time limit, right? Even on the application, the invite itself, it said 30 days. If it weren't for the fact that the SBA sent out multiple reminders, you would not have a chance at this point to even go in and apply, because that button would be deactivated. Those buttons are only there for a specific amount of time. You don't have an indefinite period of time to respond to the SBA's invites. That's why I'm on here all the time telling you how urgent it is and how necessary it is for you to check your emails. Okay, so those are some of the top reasons for denials. So, match that up with the reasons you were denied. If you were denied for something outside of that, please, let me know. But you have until the December 31st of 2021 to get your applications approved, whether for the loan or for the grant. Not to apply. Don't wait till December the 31st to apply for the grant or for the loan, because it will be over. There has not been any indication that they will be extending this program past December the 31st. Again, if they do, we always let you know. But now is the time to get your applications in. If you have not applied for the EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, I would encourage you to apply for it. Check the eligibility requirements at sba.gov/EIDL, EIDL. All the information is there, including the application. We even have a step-by-step explainer video on how to apply for the EIDL loan. Now, once you've applied for the EIDL loan, whether you applied in 2020 or you applied in 2021, you will get an invite from the SBA to apply for the targeted EIDL grant and targeted supplemental grant. The targeted grant is $10,000. The supplemental is $5,000. Right now, you still need to be in a low-income community. Now, I said that, or SBA rep said that they will be expanding it. Now, we're getting close to the end of the year. I don't know when they plan on expanding it, but I'm monitoring that on a regular basis. Right now, it has not been expanded. So it's still low income. You need to show a 30% decrease in gross receipts. So you need to show some loss in revenue in a quarter in 2020 compared to 2019. It must be 30% or above. And you must have 300 employees or less. Now, for the supplemental, you still need to be in a low income. You need to be able to show a more severe loss of 50% or more, at least 50%, and then have 10 or less employees. So not everyone that has applied for the targeted will get the supplement, okay? But I've helped people that got denied for one or both and get approved. Because what happens is many of you all don't know how to calculate your income. I just ran into this like the other day. You don't know how to calculate your income. So you're submitting an application, don't know how to calculate your income, is coming back that is incorrect, and you're denied. You need to know how to calculate your income. It's hard to do that if you're not tracking your sales and you're not tracking your expenses on an everyday basis, putting it into making sure it's in some type of accounting system, and it's going into your banking account. even if you're using like a PayPal or Square or Stripe, which I do, and they all go to my business bank account, even if I just looked at my pay reports, I can, in the system, right? Then I know what my sales were. I know what my expenses were. So if somebody asks me what were my sales in any given period of time, I'm able to retrieve that information. You have to be able to do that for your business. If you want to get any type of funding, you got to get that down. You got to get control of your money. Start managing your business money appropriately if you want to get access to grants and loans and credit lines. That is going to be necessary. So if you have not applied for that grant and you've gotten the invite, and some people have, and they said, oh, I saw it, but I didn't do anything with it, or I thought because I was denied the EIDL loan, I wouldn't qualify for the grant. That is not true. If you got the invite, apply. Let them tell you if you're approved or denied. If you need help, there's explainer videos. If you need more help, we have limited openings, so get on our calendar. The scheduler is in the description, and we pinned it to the comments if you want to get on our calendar. So we help with the EIDL loan applying, initial applications, increases, and helping to overcome the appeals process. Okay, so I would encourage you all to do that. There are still billions of dollars. They just released the updated EIDL report, I believe, last week, and the numbers for targeted are still under $4 billion that have been approved. Still under $4 billion, and the supplemental is still under $4 billion, right? So supplemental, there's a max of $5 billion allowed for the supplemental grant. But I mean, the grant is a $30 billion program, so you're talking about around $25 billion that's still remaining for you all to get grants. Now, let's set aside all the people that's outside of low income communities. You can't tell me that there's more than half a million businesses that don't qualify for the targeted EIDL grant. So I'm trying to figure out, where are these people? Where are you in the process? How many are actually still in process, or versus the people that's been denied versus the people that still just haven't applied? And I'm telling you, the SBA sent out 3 or 4 reminders because people are not applying. Where are you guys at? That's why I need you to be talking to your peers. Some are not technically savvy. People aren't checking their emails. There's some people, business owners that aren't even online. Some business owners don't have internet. I had one, I believe he's an elderly gentleman. He contacted me using someone else's computer over the weekend, begging for my help. He has no computer. Okay. So you have business owners with language barriers. So unless somebody is telling them, or when you go into their establishment and say, hey, do you know about this SBA program that you can get a grant up to $15,000? They wouldn't know. They would have no clue. They would be clueless. Okay. And then I have business owners that just delete all their stuff, deleting emails. So then when you need it, where is it? And that has happened. Where now, okay, you deleted the email. There is no way to get an application. They will not relaunch the grant application once you've deleted it. No way, no how. Once it's deleted, it's done. So you just gave up up to $15,000 by deleting the email. I mean, I don't know what reason I would ever, even I've been denied many times. I have never deleted an email. It was keeping the emails that saved me and got me the grants all of them that I was denied for, because I had my documentation. Had I deleted them, I had no case. I would have no case. So please stop deleting your emails. Create a folder and keep everything there in an organized fashion for each of these applications that you're submitting. I'm just trying to help you all get the money that is out there and available to you. There's no shortage of money out here. It's just a barrier for you to get it. What good is it if the money is here and you can't get access to it? Okay. So that's the EIDL grant. Let me talk really quickly about PPP. forgiveness. Okay, people keep asking me too, can they apply for PPP? No, it closed in May. Is not reopening as of any time soon that we have been made aware of. Right now, the focus is getting those who have PPP loans forgiven. It is a forgivable loan. However, if you do not submit an application and get it approved, you will owe that money back. Okay? So you don't want to have to owe back money because you just simply didn't apply for it because somebody told you you didn't need to apply, it was automatically forgiven. And the micro businesses, those with $150,000 loans or less, the process is super simple. You can go to your lender. If your lender has opted into the SBA Direct portal, you can apply directly through that portal. It takes 5 minutes. And the process is quick. It took literally 2 or 3 days from the time we applied to the time that we got approved for all 3 of our PPP loans, both first draws and second draws. But those of you all with under 50,000 is the biggest group. This is the largest group that has not submitted their applications. And the process is easiest for you to do it. Okay, I don't care if it's $5,000. I don't want to have to pay it back. That's significant money to a micro business, to an entrepreneur. So let's get those applications in. And I know some of you all were saying your lenders hadn't opened up the portals, but it's your responsibility to monitor that, to reach out to them, see if and when they're accepting the application. Make sure you have all of your information ready and set so when they do open it up, you can get your applications in. Check the lender list for the direct portal and see if your lender is on there. Then you can just go ahead and apply through the SBA portal. But there's still around 50% of borrowers out there that have not gotten their loans forgiven or haven't requested their loan to be forgiven. Okay, so I need you all to submit your applications. Also, if you need help, there are explainer videos on our YouTube channel, and we offer one-on-one assistance if you need that help. But again, for most people, it's a simple process. Now, if you get denied, now all PPP loans are not approved, right? So some are denied in full or in part, okay? And so if you're denied, you need to know what actions to take, and they will tell you on your decision letter. You don't have an indefinite amount of time either. If you feel like the decision was incorrect, you have 30 days from the time that they issue you the notice to appeal. Now, some of the top reasons why your PPP loan will be denied: you're not eligible in the first place. So there were certain eligibility requirements, including dates of when your business had to have started in order to be eligible for the program. You made a mistake in your calculations. So I know this is a big one because I've seen a lot of errors in calculations between all of these programs. The calculations are just not right. And so, but that's not anything that you cannot overcome, but you got to have your calculations right. That's a reason you could be denied in full or in part. You didn't use the money properly. Like someone contacted me, I believe last week, asking me, can they use the money on home rent, mortgage, utilities, and somebody told them that they could. I'm telling you, you cannot if you are a home-based business. Now, you do what you want to do, but we have a video on how to use the EIDL funds, the grants and the loans. You cannot just use it on what you want to on personal expenses. You must use it on business-related expenses. But your personal home mortgage is not one of them. Your personal rent is not one of them. It's not. It's rent, is brick and mortar rent. It's if you brick and mortar. Did you buy a food truck or some type of food stand that you're renting? Yes. But your home-based business is not. So, but it's on you to make the decision on behalf of your business. Okay. So, and you need to check what you're spending it on against what the eligibility is. You need to make sure you're within the covered periods of 8 to 24 weeks, that you maintain all your documentation because they could ask for it. They can always come back and ask for it if they find that there's some type of discrepancy. Documentation is incomplete. Documentation is incomplete that you provided, either on the front end or the back end. Okay, and you will get denied. There's an overpayment here as well with the PPP program. If for some reason your lender determines whether it's your fault or theirs that you were overpaid, they will ask for that money back. Okay, and you have to pay it back, or you can appeal. I would appeal, go through the appeal process. If you feel like you shouldn't owe it back, but if you do, then you need to go ahead and pay that money back. And we know a lot of people have been in a situation where, whether they were in a situation where intentionally they did some things that weren't on the up and up and got money they shouldn't, or somebody they hired did it, or they just made an error and got money they shouldn't have gotten. It's happened across multiple programs because the calculations are just so off and terribly off. And so you're getting money that you never shouldn't have gotten in the first place. And now you're trying to request increases that you shouldn't get. Then that's going to throw up red flags to the underwriters and attorneys that's on these programs. And you're getting an email from the attorney asking you to submit documentation. That is why you can't expect to get thousands and thousands of dollars from these organizations and the government and not be able to give them information, not think that they're going to verify. They were laxing that in 2020 because that was the law to get the money out quickly. That's how so much fraud and misuse happened. So they have put controls in place to eliminate that from happening. Now, really quickly, in addition to these programs, please, 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 check your state. We have grant resources available. They're always pinned in our description, in our comments. If you need help getting grants, there are billions and billions and billions of dollars out here every day. More grants coming out every single day. I just did 2 videos on grants, a whole bunch of them, at least 25, and they're time sensitive. And if one closes, it could be open next week, next month, next quarter, next year. On a grant tracker, we tell you the time limits. We tell you if it's a rolling basis, in what period it is, or if it's an instance where it just closes permanently. But 90% of them don't. They at some point reopen. So even if we remove them, we find out they reopen, we will add them back onto our tracker. Then you can monitor for when they reopen and then apply. I would encourage you to do that. There are way too many grants for us to list out on our grant list. That's why we have the main ones at the state, international pitch competitions, accelerated programs that we know about that give away, that have money that they're giving out to entrepreneurs and small business owners. We also have state grants listed, the top states that have COVID-related grants. Those are not all the grants. It is up to you to use the tips in the tracker and tips that we give all the time in our grant videos, and go check the different organizations and government entities in your state and ask them about grant money, tax credits, and other types of programs that are available for you and your small business. Every city, every county, every state has a business department that helps support small business owners and entrepreneurs. Find who they are locally. Okay, I know what they are in my state. You find out what they are in your state. Start making those connections so you can get access to some of these opportunities. So many grants are they're in your back door. They're right there in your community and you don't even know about it. They're right under your nose. I mean, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, just depending on your business, your state, and the programs that they have available. So go get your money. There is a grant with your name on it. I don't care what type of business you have. Startups, on our grant tracker, there's at least 3 grants, including pitch competitions or accelerators that are for or include startups, right? And then you are asking me for industry-specific grants. There are industry-specific grants, but don't just look for industry-specific grants. If it says it's a small business grant, and you meet the eligibility requirements, go apply for that grant. Every grant will tell you the eligibility requirements. I get questions all the time. And what I'm going to tell you is go read Go to the website. They have it listed there exactly what you need to be eligible for that grant. Clearly listed on their website. If you meet it, if they say you need to be in a certain state to qualify for this grant, you need to be a registered business, then you know if you have those things met, you can apply. Now, there are many grants and funding opportunities where if you are not a properly structured registered business, you will not be able to qualify for some of these. But that's not all of them, right? Because startups, if you're in the concept phase, you have a great business plan, a great idea, innovation, there are grants specifically out there for that. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you have an unregistered business, that is going to limit your grant and funding pool. That's all types of fundings and grant. You're going to be very limited. So take the time now to properly set up your business in the early stages so you can start going after some of these grants that are available. There's all types of grants that are out here coming online every single day. Go get your grant. Now, Facebook Invoice, fast track program, still available. That's on our grant tracker. And more of these are also asking, are requiring you be certified in some way. We actually have an MBE, that's a minority business certification. So if you're a minority business, an ethnic group, a woman-owned business, a veteran-owned business, there's certain certifications you can get that will get you access to more opportunities. There are set aside dollars for specific categories of small business, but you need to be certified in order to do it. Then take that certification, leverage that to then go after grants and federal contracts, to get you more money for your business. Child care providers, this is a reminder. If you know a child care provider, please let them know there are grants, $49 billion in grants, federal funding that is given to all these states, and they are rolling out their child care provider grants. Please go to your governor's office, contact them, or your child and family services office. They will know if they will tell you if the program is open, and what the requirements are, when it's going to be open, and then just monitor that. I know North Carolina just launched theirs. It's a big multi-million-dollar one, up to $30,000 for child care providers. One of my peers, she has multiple businesses, including child care. She's getting grants left and right. So if you haven't gotten one, there are people, including me, that have gotten grants and continue to get them. I applied for 2 over the weekend. So they're definitely out here available for the taking. You just need to make sure you have the right resources. You know what it takes to win grants. That's why we created the tools during the pandemic to help you be able to do that. Okay. That's a lot of information. So I hope that's been helpful for you. Just going to go through just to check really quickly. I see all of you are out there to see if there's any major questions here. We always see after the show. Thank you so much for being here, for subscribing, for following us, for sharing the information. Because I get literally hundreds of messages every day from businesses that still need help, trying to figure out what to do, what to apply for, how to apply. And there's just businesses that just don't know, so they need help. Please know that there are other organizations out here that can help you too. Your SCORE office. I'm a SCORE mentor. You have a local SCORE office. You have a local small business development center. You have a local women's business center. These are all or local urban league. These are all business help centers that can help you with the program, with these applications. So please connect with them and other things as well to help you in your business. All right. So what about businesses that are just starting with a DUNS number? Okay, I'm not sure what your question is. You have to be more specific. But definitely, if you want to go after federal government contracts and grants, you need to have a DUNS number. That if you want to build business credit, you need to have a DUNS number. So I highly recommend you do that. Take the steps. Don't skip over steps. So there's some upscale tax is telling him that there's several grants. Several grants. Just go to our grant tracker. We always pin it up there. So someone said that they told someone forgiveness there is forgiveness for those that already applied for PPP. Yes. If you want to talk to us, you can book a session or email us at hello@sheboss.com, and we will respond expeditiously. Someone else is saying she read somewhere that you can go straight through the lender for a second round PPP if you didn't get second round. Second round there, you cannot apply for PPP. You can do forgiveness. You can apply for forgiveness. A first draw and second draw, you cannot apply for a new PPP loan at this point. If you were stuck in the process, you cannot move forward with the PPP process because it is now closed. There are grants for every type of business. What should I do? I have not qualified for any grants because I did not make enough funds in my business. The biggest thing I can tell you, start making plans to make money in your business. Make money in your business. Make a sales and marketing plan for your business to start making money in your business. That's what funders want to see. Whether it's capital funders, loan funders, business credit, grantors, they want to see, and they will ask you for your financial statements. And if you have a business that you have on paper that's been in existence for 2 years and there's been no activity, there's been no sales for 2 years, then you should be asking yourself, is it a business or a hobby or something you just put down just to say it? Because you need to be showing that you're actively working in your business. Okay. Also, before I leave, this is a big one too, and I made a note and I almost forgot. For funding, all these types of fundings, what will cause you to miss out on the opportunity and get denied, because we help fund a lot of businesses, is if your state registration gets suspended or is inactive. So check your state registration. Don't let not paying a few dollars, right? $50, maybe $99 to make you sure your state license and registration is active, keep you from missing out on getting access to the capital that you need for your business, because that is a reason that you can get denied. So definitely go check that. And if it's been suspended, then find out what you did to get suspended and get that suspension lifted. Otherwise, it's going to cause you problems with getting access to funding. So again, I hope that's been helpful to you. It's Monday, a great start to the week. Set out to achieve some goals for yourself. There's money to be made here. There's so many ways to make money online, so many ways to make money as an entrepreneur. So go out there and get it. We've given you the information on our channel. Please use the information or schedule a consult. If you just don't know what to do, we can help set you up with a successful game plan. So let's make it happen this week. Continue to be the boss with amplified impact. Continue to stay safe and in good health. Have a wonderful day.